So I believe that every single one of us has a gift. Okay. Now I say it a lot on this channel, and that's because it's one of the most important truths that we often forget. We have an individual gift, you understand? Something that naturally comes to us. For some of us, it may be our beauty, our essence, our musical ear. It could be our memory, the gift of gab, whatever it may be. My talent is it's sight and sound. I could look at a video and I just know automatically what is missing, how to bring it together, how to create a storyline. It naturally comes easy for me. That is my gift. Now, the very first video I ever made, let me tell you, it was actually kind of impressive. It was actually pretty good. When I did it, I was like, oh my God, I was meant to do this. And the craziest part about it was I did not grow up thinking that I wanted to make videos or anything like that. I wasn't one of those kids who would watch movies and be like, oh my God, I wish to be a filmmaker one day. Nah. I didn't even know I had a creative bone. This is what I mean by sometimes we are not aware of who we are and the gifts that we hold because we have to dive deep to recover them. Now, within 1 year of creating videos, I started working with Universal Records, providing visuals for multi-platinum recording artists. But on my journey, I quickly learned that potential is not enough. Relying on our talents becomes a crutch. Now, my very first creative discovery was music. And again, I have a natural ear. I know what sounds good. I instantly fell in love with it. And I also gained the respect of my community and, local artists. I became a destination for them for their EPs or mixtapes, sometimes albums. But as my ideas grew, I started to hit roadblocks because my ideas expanded my skill set. I started to hear things in my head that I wasn't able to bring to full fruition due to my lack of technical ability. It still frustrates me to this day. I couldn't play instruments, and I didn't understand music theory. And I quickly realized that my old ways weren't going to serve me in this new space. I relied on one way of making music, which worked. But once I evolved, I realized, this isn't going to bring me to the position that my soul desires. And I needed to go back to the drawing board and learn. But I'll be honest, that learning curve was too daunting for me at the time. I also thought it was too late. I'm like, I should have learned piano or guitar or drums when I was 10. I'm 21, 22, 23, 24. It's too late, which is silly. It is never too late to discover a gift. It is never too late to craft that creative bone within your spirit. My stepfather, he started learning guitar at 50. I have another friend who is playing the sitar, and he just started a few years ago. He's 33, 34 now. It's amazing. But ultimately, me not being willing to dive deep into that learning curve, it ended up with me just I stopped making music. And that's when I shifted into video, right? And it became a new thing for me. And I instantly received the dopamine that happens from a new beginning. Many of us will find ourselves here because it is exciting to start a new thing, a new project. And often what happens is we start a new project and then a new project and then a new project, and we become addicted to the dopamine of something new. We do this with relationships as well, right? Think of a new relationship. It's full of chemistry. They're brand new, and we're like, ooh. And often we don't know how to sustain that relationship or build a foundation or renew the relationship. So we just start a new one, and we need to be cautious of this, that we're not repeating these cycles. And we're just getting addicted to new beginnings without ever finishing, coming into execution. So it's very important that we develop the tools to harness our talents. But Our tools become obstacles when we don't know how to use them. Our tools become obstacles when we don't know how to use them. One of my favorite quotes by myself. You know, somebody who knows how to naturally sing can wow, the average person. But it takes another level of skill to learn how to harness their voice, their tone, the different ranges, and the breathing techniques and develop that pacing, right? Sometimes the hardest work, not sometimes, pretty much all the time, the hardest working individuals will outperform the most talented. Let me say that again to you for the folks out there who are very talented and have been sleeping on themselves. Because I know there's a lot of people out here that know they're talented, know they got gifts, but they have been sleeping on themselves. The hardest working individuals will trump the most talented because the talented rely on what was given to them, their God-given gift. They're kind of privileged, while the hardworking recognizes what it's going to take for them to come into full fruition. You understand? And that's why we must be aware of this. Your gift requires discipline. Oof. Now, discipline is freedom. Discipline is harmony with the process. Your gift requires precision. Your gift requires grace. You understand? You have to think of it like this. Your gift is something you should have gratitude for. Your talent is an offering, but it doesn't stop there. And to show gratitude for that offering, you got to work on it. You got to carve it. You got to develop those skills and harness it so the talents can be fully expressed. You understand? And we do this in many ways, right? Sometimes we only rely on our looks to attract somebody, to get into a relationship. But we know that only takes us so far. Your character, your charm, your compassion, your sense of humor, these are the qualities that last, that build a foundation, that build a relationship, that attract the right people. If you lead with what is on the surface, without harnessing your true self, you will attract those who only care about the surface. You understand? That's why we must take time to learn ourselves, take time to learn our own mind. It's nice to stretch the mind at times. Mind yoga, flexibility within the mind. Go places within your mind to learn about yourself and discover those gifts and expand your awareness. When we go to school, they only kind of teach us one way of thinking, one way of doing, one way of learning. But we all know we all learn and operate so different. And that is a gift within itself. Some of us are visual learners, right? And some of us can read something and remember it instantly. Not me. And, some of us, it requires just a lot of repetition. For example, for me, when I write, it requires my writing to be very simple. Like I have to write and create gaps in between each line and color code and make things bold and like organize it in that way. Or else if I just write it like essay style, I'll look at the page and be completely confused. It looks like hieroglyphics. It looks like Egyptian writing to me, my own writing, right? I must break it down for my brain to be able to perceive it because I'm a visual learner, right? And a lot of times we are forcing ourselves into other people's processes, forcing ourselves to do things in other people's ways and then getting mad at ourselves that things haven't been working out for us. That's why it's important that you take time to learn your mind. Even for my YouTube videos, like I'm really good at just coming and speaking. You understand? Like free flow. That's like when I naturally just release the best. But I also can't rely on that all the time because it's not reliable. Proper preparation prevents poor performance, right? And failing to prepare is preparing to fail. That one, that one gets me every single time. So for my YouTube videos, I like to come on here and just get everything out. And then I'll watch that video back and then I'll script. You understand? That's my process. Instead of starting on pen and paper, I record free flow and be like, that's a good idea, right? taking the time to observe the mind. I'm a thinker, I'm a speaker, so writing for me comes last. So take that time to learn your own mind, because your gift requires to be molded and sculpted. And some of us have been writing ourselves off. Some of us have been writing ourselves off. Let me tell you, you are a confident individual. You are a strong individual. We just have our days and we forget. But confidence needs to be exercised. Some of us have been saying, I'm not the leadership type. I'm not the organized type. I'm not the creative type. But how do you know that? Have you put the real effort in, trial and tribulation? Taking time to learn the mind. Let me say it again because that is so important. Taking time to learn your mind and develop the tools that will bring your ideas into full fruition, right?
I used to actually always impose limiting beliefs on myself and say, you're not a natural entrepreneur, or you don't know how to start a business. You don't have business knowledge. I don't come from a family that are entrepreneurs, but those are limiting beliefs. I believe we are the opportunity if we give ourselves a chance to prove it. I even created my own product, the Reminder Deck, 33 affirmations, reminders that we've talked about on this podcast, on this channel. And these are things that just allow you to tap into the boundless potential that we each have to expand and grow. And let me tell you, this started as an idea, and I had no idea how I was going to bring it to market, but I did, and I'm quite happy. And our sponsor, Shopify, let me tell you, was by my side and gave me all the tools I needed to bring the Reminder Deck to market. Shopify offers an easy-to-use, all-in-one commerce platform. Let me tell you, for anybody, you can start, grow, and manage your business today, regardless of experience or technical abilities. I had none. But with Shopify, they let you sell online, in person, and on any major social media platform. I had the Reminder Deck connected to my Instagram. It's really cool. I love putting in my stories and then connecting it to there, and then my audience can purchase it with ease. And I've also been enjoying learning the back end of things, seeing where my audience comes from. I've been shipping to Africa, all over America, Australia, the Netherlands. It's been amazing. And they really do give you all the tools to just do this from the comfort of your home, from your own phone. I believe this is the year and the era of entrepreneurship, and entrepreneurship really is just a mindset. But with Shopify, any business of any size can adapt and pivot and meet whole new realities of retail. I think we are in the golden age, my friend, of starting our own business. We can do it. We can actually have an idea, bring it to market, and develop financial freedom and bring our gifts to the world. I've done it. I did it. This was who would have thought that me speaking my mind would turn into a big audience, then turn into me creating a product and then selling it all over the world. Well, zero knowledge on how to do this. So I want to thank our sponsor, Shopify. And of course, I'm gonna hook you up with a free trial of Shopify today. Just go to shopify.com/HINDZ and you can get that side hustle, that business, that idea started instantly. It's so beautiful. Now let's get back to our conversation.
Skill is developed. Talent is given. We all have a talent. We all have something that comes natural to us. And talents aren't just singing or painting. Some people have the talent of networking, the gift of gab, whatever it may be, a nurturing spirit. And in my life, I developed a habit of shying away from learning the technicals, and it caused me to never reach my full potential. Now, I was always able to get to a very good place, but there was still so much space that I wasn't able to tap into. And that's because I told myself, I'm not the type to read a manual. I'm not the type, I'm just a free flow type. But that was short-sighted, you understand? I was short-sighting myself. But the beautiful thing is, my friend, if you've done the same thing to yourself, convince yourself you are a certain way so you can't do this. Convince yourself you don't have a gift, whatever it may be. If you have been relying solely on talent but haven't been seeing the results you want to see in your life, because if you want to make a career off of who you are, This is the generation to do so. You could literally get paid to be yourself. You could get paid to draw. You could get paid to vlog. You could get paid to do a podcast. You could get paid to garden in your bed. We live in the best generation to make some money, let me tell you. You understand? But the beautiful thing is, as long as we have breath, we have life. As long as we have breath, we have life, which means we have another chance. That is why structure, right, discipline, and systems give our talents and our true self the guiding system we need to thrive. So this year, my friend, we are not just relying on our talents, right? We are harnessing our tools, diving deep within ourselves, and exploring all the strengths and capabilities and abilities and gifts that we have. And we're going to find ways to sculpt and mold them and express them into this world so we can love the life that we are living and live the life that we love. If you believe in that, amazing. If you don't, just be curious, you understand? Become curious about yourself, and you will discover more than you even realize. I feel good. I feel like for some of us, we're like, yeah, we're taking control. We're taking control this year, and we're going to do the things that have been on our heart, that have been on our mind. You understand? Maybe we've been procrastinating. Maybe we've been sleeping on ourselves. But we are learning. We are getting better. We are bringing grace back into the process, forgiveness back into the process. But we are ending negative loops and cycles, and we are coming into full fruition and execution, my friends. And you done know in hindsight, everything is going to be all right. In the comment section, let's get in there and let's hype each other up. I want to hear what you want to get started this year. I want to hear what you want to bring into execution, into full fruition, whatever it may be, We are a supportive community that holds each other accountable. Cheers.